Jared, thanks for coming in today.
I'm glad to be here, Miss Needham.
Okay, I want to go over a few things with you before we get started, okay?
Okay.
I am a college student, so this is strictly for my learning purposes. This could be seen by my supervisor, so I just want to make you aware. You did sign that videotaping authorization, but I just want to put it out there. Also, if there's any threat to yourself, harm to yourself, harm to others, I do have to report that. So suicide, talk, if you have a method, if you have a plan, I do have to report that. Okay? So, sound good? We get it? Okay. Alright, so what brings you today?
I just had to talk about I wanted to talk about some things.
Okay.
What am I supposed to talk about? I don't even know, Marlee.
Okay. So talk to me about college. I know you're in college. Talk to me about some of the things that you're doing. Maybe some things that you're excited about, some things that are coming up.
Well, I'm currently taking college classes, junior college, to get my basics. So when I decide to go to a university, I can transfer instead of going straight there. So hopefully I will have learned a bit more, and it'll be easier to transfer than to simply go there at first.
Okay, so what classes are you taking right now?
Well, I've taken, of course, some math classes and some science classes, English classes, the basics, obviously, and then, of course, I've got to take some electives, so I've been taking a speech class.
Okay, talk to me about speech. How's that going?
It's been pretty easy since it's online. It's sort of repetitive, nothing really hard.
So it's online?
Yeah.
So you're not having to get up and talk to people?
Well, the interaction comes from talking to others in discussion boards, not really physical contact, I guess you could say.
Okay, so you're not presenting speeches out loud.
Well, we do, but only two, and I wouldn't say it's only two types of speeches, informative and persuasive.
So are you recording these speeches?
Yes, I'm recording them and then send them to a public place for the rest of my class to watch.
Okay. So how many videos have you done? Have you done both?
Just one, the second one's coming up.
Okay, so this public place that you share it with, are people critiquing, or is it just your professor?
It's all the students, yeah. They discuss what they thought about it, if they learned anything, if they are persuaded, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you like speech? Do you like giving speeches?
No, I don't. I don't like giving speeches. I don't like talking in front of people.
So, you've shared with me a couple times that you are interested in law.
Yes.
So, I'm just curious how not enjoying giving speeches out loud is gonna...
Well, I got a job, part-time job, and part of that job is you have to talk to customers, and while I don't like to talk to people or to be the center of attention that much, with a job you have to be most of the time, so it kind of forces you to take a leap of faith and just talk to people, even if you don't know them or even really want to, just so you become familiar with it and don't seem so stingy or stiff whenever you talk to other people afterwards.
Okay, so you're learning some things.
Yeah, it's probably for the best it's probably good to have a job when you're younger, especially if you're not comfortable talking in front of others. It helps you get out of your comfort zone a bit.
Helps you learn some skills, yeah.
And if I'm going to be going to law, it would be good to know to talk to people in a professional or at least natural way, so it doesn't seem like I'm trying to get something out of them.
Okay. So, you're taking speech online. What else are you taking?
Sociology is the other class.
Okay, tell me about sociology.
It's also online, so it's sort of just the same things over and over, mostly discussing different sociological things, you know, class in America, that kind of thing, different cultures, what they have that are different than America, or just that kind of thing. What customs are different in other places that are accepted but aren't here, such. It's just exploring different types of people, what it is to be a person.
Okay, so which one do you like better?
I would say probably maybe speech, in the sense that I got to do something I don't want to necessarily. Makes me get out of my shell in a sense. I guess sociology is a bit different, that you get to talk about some pretty philosophical things maybe.
Okay, and then you mentioned you have this part-time job. Tell me more about what you do there.
Well, I'm a cashier. I work at Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
It's a pretty well-known place, at least in the area that we live in, Texas and Oklahoma. A lot of people come in there, and it's a pretty well-known place to get deals and whatnot. And the position I have is a cashier, which is a way for me to talk to more people, mostly forcibly, but it's probably for the best, especially because of who I am. I just don't like to talk to people.
Okay.
But around that, I'll, of course, stock things if the boss needs me to, help customers, really anything a chain or that kind of place wants you to do.
So do you like working at Hobby Lobby?
Yeah, I do. I mean, as I said, it gets me out of my comfort zone, talk to people, meet new people. I get paid, so I feel like I care more about what I do since I'm getting something out of it, at least in a material sense maybe. I mean, education's important, but you don't always feel like you're getting something out of it. But with the job, you do.
Yeah, you get paid.
So I enjoy more. And then, of course, I owe a lot to my first job, and it's inevitable, but struggled getting a job, applying to many places, and failing, I guess you could say. And when they gave me the job, I was really glad, because it was my first job and someone gave me a shot, and I was very thankful.
Yeah.
And I try to do my best, well, more than my best, because I feel like I owe them more, because it's my first job.
Right. So tell me how school's going. What are you doing in school? What are you learning in school? I know you're going to classes online and you're working after school, but what kind of things are you doing in high school?
Well, since it's high school, you gotta learn the basics. You gotta learn English, math, science. I would say probably in English. We're learning right now. It's college level class in high school. So we're learning how to write essays, certain types of essays, how to be correct with not punctuation, but how to put in, trying to put in evidence, to make it fit, to not seem like we're plagiarizing and whatnot, to make it seem natural.
Your claim or something.
Depending on the type of essay it is, you need more evidence, or maybe less evidence as much, but you still need it. And then in math, it's never really been my strong suit, but we're learning algebra, advanced algebra, calculus, that kind of thing. It's kind of difficult. Can't really say I always learn it the best way. I'm more of a action person. I learn it through doing it rather than simply hearing it or watching someone. So whenever we do it in groups, it's a bit easier. So that's probably what I remember learning the most. Yeah.
So it sounds like you are enjoying college more than you're enjoying high school.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy some of the freedoms of college. I mean, there's a lot of negatives to doing college online. It's sort of, when they give you deadlines that are weeks in advance, you feel like you can procrastinate more, which is probably something you should never do. But I can't say I've never done it, but I try not to. I try to get done pretty fast. But yeah, there's a lot more freedom, just a lot more opportunities for creativity, express yourself more than you can in high school. A lot more strictness in high school.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's why I like it a bit more.
Yeah. So tell me some other things that are going on. Like, I know spring break's coming up. What are you going to do for spring break?
Well, I'm going to go on a trip with my friends. Going to Colorado. Hopefully we'll have a good time, avoid the snow, ice, that kind of thing.
So what are you going to do out there?
Go to some sites. I know we're going to go to a couple of the big cities, of course, Denver. Due to the ice, we may not see all the cities we planned on, but we're going to go to the Four Corners, which is where 4 states all meet together. Okay. And then we're going to an old abandoned Indian town, or I guess village. It's built in the mountains, that kind of thing. That should be interesting. I love history, so always good to see something like that up close instead of just seeing it on photos or videos. So that's always the best part of going to a place on a trip.
Yeah. So you're looking forward to this trip.
Yeah.
Talk to me about something that you're passionate about, something that you enjoy doing, whatever it is. Maybe it's something you do at work, or maybe it's something you do in school, or maybe you talk to me about you want to be a lawyer. Maybe it's that. You said you enjoy history.
Yeah, I do enjoy history. I enjoy history. Seems sometimes like an alien world. I usually get that through reading. I enjoy reading. Haven't always, but sort of when it comes to school almost, it's sort of similar where when I was younger, reading, they forced it down your throat and didn't seem as fun or enjoyable. But once I didn't have to do it, I liked it more. Same thing with schools to a certain extent. College, since it's not exactly mandatory, you do something more that you want to, so you care more, you want to do better, since you're planning on possibly doing a career with it. So that's why I like it more. I guess there are not too many other passions. I mean, I like playing video games, that kind of thing. I'd say hanging out with my friends maybe was a passion. Maybe not that, but yeah, I just like to be with other people sometimes.
So you were just talking about reading and enjoying those things. Tell me more about that.
I like to read history. That entails, of course, not reading a textbook, but reading something along those lines. Then reading historical fiction, like Gone with the Wind, for example, although maybe not specifically that, but that's just an example. And then, of course, maybe books like Huckleberry Finn, those things where they're set in the past. They're a good way to learn about the past, but not be as boring, maybe. It's, you can grasp onto a character and they feel like a real person.
Yeah.
Especially if the author's good at writing. That's why I usually like to read, like to go to different places in a way, and that's how books can get you there.
So you said something that was interesting about characters and how you feel like you know them. Talk more about that. That was...
Well, I mean, the characters in a book are fictional, but if they're written well enough, you don't see it that way. You see them as real people. They have hopes and desires, flaws. They are not perfect. At least a good writer can write them that way. An example, maybe, I guess I brought up Huckleberry Finn. He's a pretty good example. He's not a perfect person. He's kind of reckless, gets into trouble, but he means well. He wants to be a good person. And since the book talks about racism, it learns about how racism was more accepted and how he doesn't feel that way, so he feels that he's going against the grain, but he doesn't care because he feels it's the right thing to do. And sometimes it's how the world is. Whether it's the right thing to do is you go with it even if not everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna bring up something that you had mentioned to me earlier in the week. You said that you were concerned about your dad.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Well, my dad's been going through some health problems that they're not old, but they're not new either. They've been around for a while, and you see my dad struggle, and it's kind of hard because it's my dad. You think your parents are invincible, or at least aren't easily faced by things that you are, and you don't want to see them go down because they're your parent. Why would you want to see your parent get hurt?
Yeah.
So it's hard. I mean, I don't always talk about it, but if I try to express it with my family and try to show support for my dad, because I want him to live as long as he can, be healthy as long as he can, and I hope that whatever's wrong with him, the doctors can help him, and that he can live a much longer life. And I have a nephew he's not as young as you would say, but he's over a year old, and while he's getting to know that people are around him, it'd be good for him to know his grandpa. His dad has parents too, but it's always good to have more than one grandparent. So it'd be good for him to be around, share his experiences. I'd hate to see my nephew Harlan lose his grandfather so young.
Yeah.
Be very hard. Maybe not hard on him, but because he wouldn't know him as well. But when he grew up, that'd just be a thing he didn't know. I mean, I didn't know my grandparents, so I wish I would have. As I said, I'm not sad about it as much because I didn't know them. I'm obviously not happy, but it's sort of, if I could have known them better, I probably would be a different person.
Yeah. Yeah. So how are you handling it? How is it affecting you?
Well, he's not particularly open with it to me. I mean, as I said, I can see him. He's very much in pain sometimes. So obviously, I'm very heartbroken about it, I guess. So it does affect me. Probably not as much as I would. It probably more than I think.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't always maybe express it in the way you should.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
How do you think it's affecting you?
I guess maybe think about my health more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe want to. Obviously, I don't think that my dad's health was his own fault per se, but you never know. We affect our bodies, obviously. So whatever he has, if it was something he's done in the past, maybe I can try to avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, if we can figure out what it is, he can change it himself.
Yeah.
Be healthier,
Right.
not be sick.
Yeah. So you didn't tell me how you felt about it.
I don't know. I guess I just don't really know. I mean, that's what I mean. I'm more affected by it than I probably realized. I just don't really know how to say it or express it in a way.
Mm-hmm. Have you been spending time with your dad?
Probably not as much as I used to. I mean, he works, I work, so not really as much time. Yeah, I wish I could. I mean, some little things. Go eat dinner with him.
Mm-hmm.
Go see a movie maybe. Just go out with him on a drive to get food for all my mom and me.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, little things like that. I wish I did.
Spend more time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you said that you don't work on Sundays, and sometimes he doesn't work on Sundays.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys could plan something for Sunday.
Yeah, that would be a good thing. I mean, since he doesn't most of the time work on Sundays, but he sometimes will. But he's usually kind of tired. Yeah, he likes to kind of do his own thing, so it's probably because he doesn't have time to do it other. But yeah, it'd probably be good on the days he has off to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, just spend some time. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he has his own things and I have my own things. We probably share more in common than I realize, but not that I've ever really known. I mean, yeah, I guess if, as I said, to do the little things, if he wanted to go, he likes fish, so if he had just said, I'm going to the PetSmart,
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a little thing, you know, my dad appreciates the little things probably
Mm-hmm.
more so than me. So I think, yeah, probably should.
So what if you said, hey Dad, I'm going to PetSmart. You want to go?
I mean, yeah, that'd probably be a good thing. I mean, I don't know what he would say. I mean, he might say, yeah, probably. He might even say, okay, thanks. Or I mean, I could also just get something for him, surprise him, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably would be a good thing to do to spend more time with him in a little way. Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you feeling right now?
I don't know. I guess since you brought it up, I think about it more and feel a little bit more sad than I probably would have felt if it hadn't been brought up. So, yeah.
So you're feeling sad?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't want my dad to die.
Right.
Never wish that upon him.
Right.
So, yeah, it makes me kind of sad.
Okay. So, you said a couple times that you wish you could do more with him. What are some things that you guys did when you were younger?
The biggest things were probably going fishing, I would say hunting, just shooting practice. He had BB guns, that kind of thing. We did that, and he kind of did that. He's done that kind of in the past recently, but not as much. I think it's just because he's been dealing with whatever he's been dealing with that he just hasn't had the motivation to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And that hopefully if he can effectively combat whatever it is, that we can do something like that more often. Because he enjoys the little things. So I mean, we don't have to do anything bombastic for him. He would appreciate just going out and shooting BB gun at some targets. That's really all he would like to do, or go out to PetSmart and just look at the fish. He'd like that very much.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to kind of edge away from that because we're getting closer to the end of our session. But talk to me about some things that you hope to gain from this experience, from just talking and having these sessions.
Better understanding of maybe my emotions.
Okay.
Of how to express them in a positive way.
Okay.
To know that it's okay to talk about things that maybe you don't want to talk about. And to maybe communicate better your feelings with that person if you hadn't in the past.
Okay, so you want to just kind of get to know your emotions better and be able to communicate with people more effectively?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I was so glad for my part-time job, because I could better communicate with people effectively if I talk to them more, and maybe not get in touch with my emotions, but just talk to someone and have them recognize that I care.
So communication is important to you?
Yeah. I think if you talk, at least, then if you're talking, it shows that you care, shows that you want to solve whatever problem there is.
Okay. Well, I've got a video that I want to share with you about the difference between talking and texting.
Okay.
I know you guys have been doing some social interaction stuff in some of your classes, and I've got this awesome video that I can share with you, and you can see kind of the difference between when you're communicating with someone face to face versus communicating with someone text or online, the effects that it has on someone to get it immediately versus to get it,
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, there's a lot of things that get lost in translation, or texting, or even sometimes calling maybe, but definitely texting. You lose the face-to-face. When you say something online or text, you lose the sort of connotation it comes with, why you're saying it, how you're saying it. But if you just text, where are you, it doesn't come off as effective when you're saying it face to face, because you lose that feeling and meaning behind it, because you're just saying it through a text message.
Yeah. So it seems like it's really important that you are face to face communicating.
Yeah, I think that's.
You do a lot with it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best for me. I've always been a shy person, and while of course I've always not liked to go in the deep end in a sense, it's sometimes the best for me because I'm not wanting to do it. It's probably for the best. If I do it enough, I'm not so worried about it in the future.
Yeah, of course. All right, Jared, well, we're gonna end our session, but we will definitely get together and have another session next week. I'll get with you about your class schedule later, okay?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.